Greetings, universe. My name is Orbital Bacon, certified G1 and a real freaking prime. Welcome to another live stream. It's another episode of TRASHFORMERS, your worst place for Transformers news. You couldn't have picked a more terrible place to get your news, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you did. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing today? Tarkus, happy birthday to Tarkus. Special birthday shout out. Hey man, how's it going? Josephine Dude, Mega Doomer, Zahira Smith, hello. Bumblebee, 2006. Why 2006, Bumblebee? Why not 07, like the live action movie, which we'll talk about later tonight, or the 2005? You know, it is the year 2005. Why 2006, Bumblebee? Delilah, hello from the other side. And Lord Galvatron, how's it going? And anybody I may have missed, hope you all are doing well. It's Tuesday. It's still early in the week. We've still got a ways to go, but I know that you're all going to make it just fine. Just fine. You're all made of sterner stuff. So I know you're going to make it just fine. But we've got some news bits to talk about tonight. And I say bits just because it was kind of a slow news week. And so what I did was sort of throw in a couple of speculations, I guess you could call them. Some things that we could talk about in addition to the news, because yeah, it was just kind of a slow news week. But we'll get into it. We'll cover the topics, and then we'll do some speculating, some theorizing, and see what's coming up in the coming movies and shows that we've got on the horizon here. So, without further ado, let's get into it. If you do want, let me get this out of the way first here. If you do want to support the channel, there is a link in the description below, as well as a super chat button. And then I do have my merchandise shop. If you want to get yourself a cool t-shirt in the process of supporting the channel, then there is a link in the description below as well. I'm putting new designs up there all the time. A mix of Transformers and Kamen Rider mostly, with a few other things. Like I've got the Boom t-shirt from Jinx, anybody who's a fan of Arcane out there. So check that out if you are so inclined. And with that out of the way, let's get into the news. All right, so the first little bit that I found here in this slow news week is that Bumblebee's Rise of the Beast look was officially revealed by Russian hackers. The Russians did it. No, not really. It was actually on an official Russian website that I believe is tied in to the franchise. The official Transformers Russian social media page on VK social media. So it's sort of like, it'd be like Hasbro's Twitter profile sharing something, like revealing an image. It's an official source. It just happens to be on a Russian social media page. And not only that, but it was revealed about a year ago on June 21st of last year. And it took the fans just now to notice. So here we've got this year-old reveal of Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, but we're finally paying attention to it. It looks all right. You know, you've got the prominent car hood on the chest there, and it looks like it's the old Camaro again. So I guess this is doing some sort of weird timeline loop back to the Bayverse, because that's a very Bayverse looking car mode chest from that from the hood of the car that's forming his chest there. That's very Bayverse-esque. So I guess they're trying to tie that in. I don't know. We can see also Optimus Primal in the background, but he's not a render. Like Bumblebee is a render. This is what he's going to look like in the movie. Optimus Primal there behind him is very clearly art. So it could be concept art, it could be promotional art. It could be art that's being used for other merchandise and they just said, hey, throw it in there because we want to make the picture look cool. I don't know. So that's not really the focus. But yeah, so we've got to look at Bumblebee here. I mean, he looks all right. It's Bumblebee. What are you gonna do with him at this point? Bumblebee's Bumblebee. I guess people who are excited about him, Bumblebee's favorite character. Yeah, I guess they would be excited. But otherwise, I think the most interesting thing was that the Russians, they had the secret plans to Bumblebee all along. We should have known. We should have known. They weren't after our Energon. They were after the plans to Bumblebee. So, yeah, so this was a little bit interesting, but we're really just getting teases at this point until the movie comes out. Speaking of Bumblebee, though, he's been everywhere. He's been everywhere, like always. Here we go. The movies are ramping up, the new shows. Bumblebee's got to get his spotlight stealing in. That's what he does best. So we've got the reveal of the G.I. Joe Transformers Bumblebee crossover, the AWE Striker with Sergeant Stalker. This was revealed early in the week, so a lot of you might have already seen this one. It's not breaking news, but it just happened to be revealed like the day. It was either a day or two after my last Transformers news stream. So it's like, well, it's probably old news at this point, but I haven't covered it yet. The thing that I find interesting about this, though, why I would even talk about it, is a couple of things. For one, you've got the return of human characters. Now, I know it's a crossover with G.I. Joe, so obviously, well, a G.I. Joe character is going to be in there. But it's not the end of the human, what do you want to call it, interaction with the Transformers. And this is going to go into more speculation, but it's sort of what I was talking about with the running theme, where not only do we have Bumblebee showing up everywhere, but we've got more humans showing up everywhere. And I was actually talking to Megadoomer about this in the Discord server, and wondering about what importance, or how important, I should say, the role that the humans are going to play in this upcoming movie and show with Earthspark. And I have a few theories that we're going to see the return of some, and it could be in the guise of like old callbacks, like a throwback to the 80s, late 80s, 90s, and the comics when we had Pretender shells. If you guys remember the Pretender shells. And then there was also the Japanese G1 trilogy with Headmasters, which ironically took the human or alien, in some cases, element out of the Headmasters and made them purely Cybertronian again. But then in Super God Master Force and Victory, they brought back in the humans and made them almost like pilots in a way for the Transformers. They kind of like fused with them, and that's something that it's more like culturally different between the West and Japan as far as what we like in our shows. Like us in the West as Transformers fans, we're perfectly fine with the Cybertronians being sentient beings. We're perfectly fine with them being aliens, living robots, that nobody's in there driving, nobody's in there piloting. We're fine with that. We love that. Whereas the Japanese prefer piloted robots. They love mecha, as you know. They love giant robots. They've got Gundam and Evangelion and all that stuff, but it's all piloted. If you look at it, they're all piloted, and they prefer, human pilots inside. So I'm wondering if we're going to see some of that brought back, because that's where you get things from the Japanese trilogy, like I said, with Super God Master Force and Victory. And then you also have some of the older toy lines, like the Pretenders and the G1, the American G1 Headmasters and target masters and stuff. I think I don't know if the target masters may have just been Cybertronians, but I know the headmasters, like Daniel was in RC's head, you know, for instance. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with that as far as bringing them back. And again, I know this is just a G.I. Joe crossover. It's kind of like, well, hey, you're going off, but I've got some more things to back up this theory coming up here. So stay tuned on that. The other thing that I thought was interesting about this Bumblebee being Bumblebee is why not Hound? Why not Hound? You know, it seems almost obvious that you would have Hound be the character for this. He's a Jeep. He's got the rocket launcher on his shoulder that could be the cannon that's mounted on the top of the Jeep there. He's already the same colors and everything. And he doesn't get enough love. Above all, I think above all, Hound doesn't get enough love for any other reason that's not blatantly obvious just by the aesthetics. Hound just doesn't get enough love. So I don't know why he wasn't Hound. But that's really, like I said, it's not late breaking news, but I just thought it was interesting that one, he's not Hound, it's Bumblebee. And that's not me just hating Bumblebee. That's, I think that should be obvious. And the other thing was just the sort of, okay, here we've got G.I. Joe. They're bringing in figures that scale, because something that they listed in the features of this figure, you know how they list the accessories and the things that come with the figure? One of the things that they listed as a feature was that it scales to the G.I. Joe figure, that the vehicle scales to the G.I. Joe figure that's included. So there may be more of these on the way, whether it's through crossovers or through other movie characters that we're going to see from Rise of the Beast, or characters that we may be seeing in the upcoming Earthspark show, which we're going to get to here in a bit. And we may be seeing this almost like a test run for how people like or react to the human figures and the human characters being integrated once again with the Cybertronians. So all right, so our next bit of news here is going back. I mentioned earlier about Bumblebee in the chat, and I see you're still in the chat there, Bumblebee. I don't know if you answered though about 2006, because 2007 is actually the 15th anniversary for the first Michael Bay movie. I can't believe that. It's 15 years. That kind of makes me feel old, but holy cow. So that's longer than I've been on YouTube. I can't believe that movie's that old. But they're, not only is it the 15th anniversary, but they're actually bringing it back to theaters. If you guys remember the 86 movie, the original cartoon movie, being in theaters for a limited time last year, and it was organized by Fathom Events. They actually do a lot of this stuff. Anytime you see like old school movies, especially animated features, being brought back into theaters for a limited run, it's usually Fathom Events, and they're behind this as well. And they've got screening dates on July 10th and July 14th, so about a month from now. So if you guys didn't know about this, if you didn't know that you were going to have a chance to see the first movie in theaters either again or maybe for your first time, you've got a month. You've got a month to get on it. And I think that it should be easy enough to get into. Tickets are on sale right now. So when I say that you have a month, you've got a month. Tickets are on sale right now. Go to the Fathom Events website. I probably should have gotten a link for you or something, but just Google Fathom Events and find their website, and they've got a list of all the theater locations there, and you can go ahead and buy tickets. But yeah, 15 years, 15th anniversary for the first Transformers movie. Like, I can't believe that. I remember seeing the first one in theater. That's why I'm saying it makes me feel old, because I was like, oh, I was little when, and now it's like, wow, that's longer than I've been doing voices on YouTube. That's longer than I've been, wow, 15 years. Wow. I can't even think of things. The only thing because I've been on YouTube for about 10 years. My 10-year channel anniversary is coming up later this month. And that's the only thing I can think of that even comes close to that. But yeah, I definitely want to go see this in the theaters. What do you guys think? I see a lot of people in the chat already saying that they want to go. Are you guys gonna check this out? Because I'm all about this, seeing it again, especially with new sound systems, because I don't even really remember. Like, it was before time began. I saw this movie, and I don't remember what theater it was in. No, I seriously, I don't remember the theater. I don't remember if it sounded good. I just remember giant robots on the screen, and it was awesome. Man, I definitely want to see this again. But yeah, you guys have a month to get on this. Tickets are on sale right now. I know, Tarkus, it's your birthday. I don't know if you knew about this, but there you go, man. Tell whoever to get you some tickets for your birthday. Maybe I'll get you some tickets for your birthday. You know what, Tarkus? I'll get you tickets for your birthday. How about that? I know that you guys, I've got stuff where I'm like, hey, if you want to support the channel and all that, but you guys do support the channel, and I like giving back. So Tarkus, happy birthday. I'm getting you tickets to this, brother. I'm getting you tickets to the 15th anniversary. All right, next bit of news is this is kind of on the similar page of bringing back the movie in the theaters, although this isn't in the theaters. This is actually a new channel. Excuse me. This is something I haven't heard of, Pluto TV. It's apparently Paramount.
There's no need to be alarmed. I'm Prime.
What? But I'm Prime.
But I'm Prime. Thank you, Mega Doomer. Mega Doomer just rolled out 5 through Super Chat. Thank you. Hell yeah. But yes, Pluto TV is Paramount's streaming service. And obviously Paramount owns the movie rights, and I believe has the show rights as well, because I remember seeing their logo at the beginning of shows like Transformers Prime. And so they have a free streaming service. It's all you have to do is download the app, and there are commercials. So it's free with a catch. You know, they always have a loophole, you know, but it's free with a catch. But I mean, watch a commercial. It's like watching it on TV anyway. Who cares, right? It's better than having to pay a monthly or annual subscription or anything like that. So you download the app, and they have other channels because it's actually an internet television type app. You know, it's so there's various channels on Pluto TV, and so there's a Transformers channel is what they've launched now. It's live now, is a Transformers channel, and you can watch in its entirety Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise, and Bumblebee's Adventures in Cyberverse, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. I never really got into that one, to be honest. To me, Transformers Prime is kind of what makes it worth watching through commercials or anything like that, you know, having to download an app, anything like that. I think Transformers Prime is worth the price of admission right there. So I just wanted to share that because I had no idea this even existed. I mean, a lot of people, I've got Transformers Prime on DVD. I think all of it. I might be missing a little bit of Beast Hunters because I know that season got a little weird at the end with the movie and everything. But I've got the first couple of seasons on DVD, and most people might already have it in their collection. But if you haven't seen it or don't have it in your collection, this is the way to go, you know, without sailing the 7 seas as some people might do. But yeah, I thought it was cool. A Transformers channel, like the whole channel is just Transformers shows 24/7. I haven't downloaded it and looked into it, so I don't know if you get to pick the episodes. I don't know if it's like Netflix where you get to choose your episodes and watch it at your leisure, or if it's got a broadcast schedule and you have to tune in at certain times to catch the shows that you want to see. Not really sure how it works, but either way, pretty cool. Check that one out. And last, but certainly not least, because this is where I want to get into some of the speculation and the theorizing that I was talking about before, where it's a news bite, yeah, but we're going to talk about a little bit of things that who knows, right? Who knows just yet? But this ties in to the this ties into the human element that I mentioned before. And the likelihood, I think that not only is it a possibility, but a likelihood that we're going to see more human characters popping up, and not just the token human characters, because obviously every show going back to G1 has your human characters. I'm talking more of the human integration, like the Pretenders, like the Victory and Master Force sort of fusion element, you know, where you have humans almost piloting Transformers in a way. At the very least, they are going into battle with them and not just sort of working back at the base or getting into trouble. Like in Transformers Prime, for instance, we were just talking about Transformers Prime that you can watch on Pluto TV. And the kids would, you know, they would try to help out, but sometimes they would get in trouble. They weren't necessarily fighting. They weren't the ones doing the fighting for the most part. I know Miko got that armor, but we're talking, that's more of an exception. We're talking on a typical day. They're not rushing into combat, you know, just on their own. But with Pretender technology and other things like that, the humans are going into combat. They are actually going alongside the Cybertronians, or maybe riding in their vehicle mode, or the Cybertronians become armor for them. There's all these various things that have happened, that have taken place over the years. So the reason I bring this up is with Earthspark, okay? We've got a possible new Earthspark listings. It's pretty much for sure that they're Earthspark listings, but I should say they're possible new characters, and this is where the speculation comes in. They're listings for merchandise that it's a new assortment of figures, and what I want to bring attention to is the names of them. They're called the Terran Tacticons, okay? Terran is, or terra firma is Earth, right? And Terrans are often used, that word is often used as the word that aliens call humans. So if you've watched a lot of sci-fi, you've probably heard the word Terran used by aliens when they're referring to a human that is not on Earth. So, because obviously if you're on Earth, the alien is the alien, but when a human goes out into cosmic adventures, into outer space, like think of Star-Lord going out in the Guardians of the Galaxy, he's the alien. He's a human, you know. He's not like, oh, everyone else is an alien. He's just another alien, and so a lot of people refer to him as a Terran. You know, oh, I've never Yondu, I think, I never tasted Terran before, right? So Terran Tacticons sounds like some sort of mix, because Tacticon sounds like a Cybertronian type word, like maybe it's a new faction, like we've had Minicons. Maybe it's a team like Stunticons or Constructicons. You know, it sounds a little evil with Tacticon in the, you know, con in the word. So I don't know, but Terran being part of that title makes me think these are some sort of Earth-bound or Earth-based factions. I don't know if it's humans. I don't know if it's Cybertronians. I don't know if it's some sort of mixture of the two. Now, here's where if you're like, well, it's got to be Cybertronians, right? They're called Tacticons. It's got to be Cybertronians, right? Well, here's where it gets a little like, I don't know, because they have a listing. And hopefully, if you guys consider this spoilers or something, I'm not spoiling. Hopefully, I'm not spoiling anything, because a lot of this is speculation, and these are just listings for upcoming figures, and it could be something that ties into Rise of the Beast. But my speculation is that, excuse me, these are Earthspark listings for characters that we're going to see in the show. So let me read their names to you here. We have the Terra Tacticons Unikite and Atticite. Now, those names sound a little bit alien. It sounds like they might be twins. And we've seen Transformers like that before, like Rack and Ruin, although they were kind of like fused together. So I don't know if these two are going to be fused together, but we've seen characters that are like that. Now, of course, humans also have twins. So these could be human operatives named Unikite and Atticite. Now, we also have Gabbro, which little bit of both. It could be alien, it could be human. But then here's where it gets to be pretty interesting. We have, or maybe not uninteresting, depending on how you look at it. We have Terra Tacticon Owen and Terra Tacticon Mark. So Owen and Mark. So what my theory is here is that this is a team or a faction, however you want to look at it, that is a mixture of Cybertronians and humans. So you've got Mark, you've got Owen, possibly Gabbro. I don't know what Gabbro might be, an alien, Gabbro might be a Cybertronian, might be a human. I don't know. But then Adakite and Unikite, I'm thinking they're probably aliens, maybe even Cybertronians. I've seen some images that look like there are alien life forms that aren't Cybertronians that are going to be in the show. Not really sure. There's a lot yet to be discovered on this one. But this is why I like to speculate and theorize. So when you have such a variety of names that go from almost definitely alien to plain like the guy that sits behind you in class. Hey, it's Owen and Mark. They're Terran Tacticons. Yeah, there's definitely some humans on this team. Now, are they going to be working behind the scenes on like the base, on the, if they've got like a ship or some sort of headquarters that maybe Owen and Mark stay behind and the Cybertronians or the alien ones go out into combat? Is there going to be some sort of armor? Maybe they transform into armor, or they use their vehicle modes. The humans ride in using their vehicle modes and help pilot them, and you maybe use their weapons. Like, so you've got an extra set of eyes. Basically, you got the Cybertronian in vehicle mode, and they can focus their weaponry in one direction, but then the human riding on top with a cannon mounted can look in another direction. Now you've got another set of eyes. That's why it brings me back to Bumblebee here. You see the human riding on top. This is what made me think of it. This is why I sort of brought it back to this, because with the G.I. Joe crossover, because you see the human riding on top and he's using the cannon, like the mounted weaponry that he can use. He's a separate set of eyes, right? But then being protected by the armor of the Cybertronian. So it's still, you're still benefiting both of them. It's not like the human is fully exposed and now a weakness for the Cybertronian. He's, kind of settled within the armor and can use the weaponry. So that's why I'm thinking that these Terran Tacticons are going to be a squad that is sort of like a mix of humans and Cybertronians, or maybe some aliens, because it seems like we might get some other alien races in this show. I don't know. And they're going to somehow combine their effort. I don't think, like I said, they could just be Owen and Mark hanging back at the base, sitting at the computer pushing buttons, but I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think that, and for all I know, all of these names could be humans, and they're just, you bringing in people from all over the world, and I just don't recognize where these names are from. I don't know. Because it could be, I'm pronouncing, Unikite, it could be Unikite, and it's Japanese. I don't know. So, what it remains to be seen. It's a lot of speculation, like I said, but since the news week was pretty slow, I just wanted to have something to at least discuss in the meantime while we wait for other things to be revealed. Because that is it. That's all I've got for you guys today. I mean, there was just not a whole lot. We got the Bumblebee G.I. Joe crossover reveal. I thought it was really awesome that it's the 15th anniversary. I think this is the coolest thing, in my opinion, is that it's the 15th anniversary of the first Bayverse movie, and that they're bringing it back in the theaters for a couple of days next month. That's cool. That's cool. So, but yeah, other than that, we didn't have too much going on. So what do you guys think of the human involvement? Do you think we're going to see the humans playing more of an action-centric role in the upcoming shows and movies? Especially with Rise of the Beast, we've been so focused on, what does Bumblebee look like? What does Optimus Primal look like? Those masks, those goofy masks that we were memeing on. what are the humans going to do? What role are the humans going to play in that movie? I know that we've seen military guys, and obviously they'll go into combat. It's not like it's unheard of, especially in the live action movies, because Michael Bay loves the military, and so we see a lot of military involvement with the Transformers sort of running in there, but they're doing it with their own military tech. We don't, with the exception of maybe Mark Wahlberg's character when he was picking up the sword and found out it had laser gun mode. Then he was using Cybertronian tech to fight, so to speak. But it's usually humans in their own human tech, like in tanks and helicopters, just running military operations alongside Cybertronians. So it's not unheard of that humans would run into combat with them, but like I said, I'm specifically going towards that whole Cybertronian human like fusion type battle armaments or technology, whatever you want to refer to it as, like the Pretender shell technology, things like that. So what do you guys think do you think we're going to see anything like that coming up? Do you want to see anything like that? Are you happy that we might get more human involvement, or would you rather the humans stay out of it and let's just watch the giant robots beat each other up? I lean more towards the giant robots myself, but they're going to do what they want to do. And are you hyped for the 15th anniversary of the movie? Are you going to go see it? Are you going to see it in the theaters? Are you going to try to get tickets? So let me know. Whether you're in the chat or in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this episode of TRASHFORMERS, and we'll be back next week with more news. And until next time, be sure to stay weird and stay proud. And remember,
Until all is one.
Yes, until all is one.
I want to give a special shout out to the certified G1s, Jazz Wolf Blaze, That Subpart VA, Damn It Open, Night / Prime, Mega Doomer, Bubbly Bubs, Ash, Gojira Wars, Battle Frame Studios, Johnny Ohm, Ultra Marcus, Lord Galvatron, and Ethan Reilly. And an extra special thank you to the real freaking Primes, Samick and Mega Doomer. I just want to say, how dare you?